guys, in today's video we're going to be checking out the new released Kotobukiya ArtFX. This is the DC Comics Superboy Jonathan Kent and Krypto 2-pack. Now, before we do anything, let's figure out how tall these statues stand. Superboy stands at about 5.5 inches, while Krypto, his pet dog, stands at about 3 inches in height. Like we've seen with other Kotobukiya pieces, Jonathan Kent and Krypto come included with a metal square display base. It has a nice Superman logo at the bottom centered area of the base. And you flip it around, and you are treated not only to DC Comics and made in China, but you're also treated to a felt surface as well, so it will mean that the statues won't scratch any surface that they may be on. The statue, well, one of them is magnetic. That's Jonathan Kent. You can attach him really any which way that you want on the base, and that's something I would recommend you doing with other statues when you put them on their display base. You can do this. They are magnetized. Well, again, at the very least, Jonathan Kent is magnetized. Poor Krypto, unfortunately, is not magnetized, doesn't have any magnets on the undersides of the feet. I still feel as if the dogs, the canines that come included with these figures, could really have had magnets underneath as well. Realistically, I mean, when you put them on display, it's not to say that you're necessarily ever going to be picking up the statue, and thereby magnets are a crucial end of it. One really is certainly sufficed enough, but I guess at the very least, I mean, Krypto could have come with one, but I mean, it's not to say that you can be moving it around too often when you are displaying them on your shelf. Talking a little bit about the other magnetized figures, let's bring in one of the other ones that we had a look at here, and here's Robin along with Ace the Bat Hound. A nice contrast of the two different types of characters, types of heroes, and their canine friends. Of the two, I really have to admit I love the Robin. I do think Jonathan Kent is a nice piece, but I think I like the Robin just a little bit more just because I'm a big Batman fan. Both dogs, I have to admit though, of the two dogs, I think I have to give this one to Krypto here. Krypto's a really nice representation, not only of Krypto, but actually of a dog as well. It's got some really nice personality to it, and some additional airbrushing around the mouth and snout area, I suppose, of the dog, and it's a really nice looking piece. You can see as well that they've given him a collar complete with the Superman crest featured on the front there as the tag, and a nice flowing cape coming out from the collar itself. The contrast of the gold then mixed with the yellow and the more singular color of the red really looks good against the backdrop of the white dog here. I mean, it's not to say that I don't like Ace, but I just think of the two dogs, Krypto here has a better look to him. He's also a stark contrast from the Ace, from both the Ace and the Krypto that, well, at least I grew up with. Ace the Bat Hound, I think, was a Doberman Pinscher at one point. I feel as if Krypto here might have been like a Great Dane. I think it was a Great Dane that he used to be, whereas here he comes across more like a terrier or retriever, I suppose. It's a really, again, beautiful looking dog. Could it have used magnets? Yes, sure, of course it could have. But I think, again, it stands perfectly fine on its own. You're really not going to be picking up and moving these all around if you wanted to. Also, too, the benefit of these both being magnet is you can take either of the figures, depending on which base you want to decide you want to go with, and you can actually have them both attached to the same base, which is something that you can't really do with other figures because you're pretty much told in advance, these are your pegs, these are your peg holes, this is where we want you to display the figures. Kotobukiya says, no. If you want to display your figures, you can display them and mix and match exactly how you want to display them. So in this case, I may even take the liberty of not using one of the display bases, and I might actually just display both figures with their corresponding dogs. There we go, flip that around, with their corresponding dogs, and use the same display base. And I think it would just look really cool having the two together. Now that we've looked at Krypto, let's have a look at Jonathan Kent, Superboy. Really, really nice representation here of Superboy from the comics. By contrast, I'm going to bring in Robin once again so you guys can see. The contrast between the two characters, they really do not share very similar colors at all. Robin favors more closer to like the reds, the yellows, and blacks, where Jonathan Kent here, of course, has the blues and the reds. I guess they share the reds, but that's about the only between the two. Jonathan Kent kind of has more the cruder outfit, but I think it works quite well for his type of character. Their face tone, the skin tone that they've used, Kotobukiya, gave a lighter shade of skin tone for Robin and almost a more rosier complexion here for Jonathan Kent. And again, it's nice that you have the contrast of the two distinctly different raised children, having them with very distinctly different skin tones as well. I think that quite works well here. There's a real innocence that's captured here on Jonathan Kent. I quite like it. A very innocent looking smile, very bright eyes, and I love the reflection that they've given also around the pupil and eyeball area. Again, a very large smile. I love the sculpting of the hair as well. If we spin the figure around, he's kind of got a bit of a messier hairstyle, but I think it translates well here to the statue. Of course, you've got the Superman emblem featured on the front of his zippered top. His arms very stoically poised at either end of his stomach torso area here. And you got some rips and stuff like that in his jeans, right all the way down to his super sneakers, his red colored sneakers with white soles. Like with the Krypto though, he does still have the super emblem on the back of his cape, and his cape has a really nice flow to it. It's not as exaggerated as I would say Krypto has. It's much more of a just relaxed draped cape that's draping down the side of his torso. And again, or back of the torso. I really do quite like that. The colors are very clean. The paint application is also very clean. Can't find any real imperfections at all to speak of here in Jonathan Kent. And again, having the Super Sons poised standing next to each other on a shelf is really where you can appreciate the care and detail that Kotobukiya put into both of those pieces. Each varying degrees of details. You've got the more dark, brooding presence of Robin here along with Ace the Bat Hound, and you got the more lighthearted, more innocent approach taken here with Jonathan Kent. Even right down to their facial expressions. Robin has a more sterner face expression, where Jonathan Kent here has a much more playful smile. Of the two, though, I still think my favorite is the Robin. I really like the flow of his cape. I love the way that they've got him poised. It's not to take anything necessarily away from Jonathan Kent, but I think my favorite, though, is still the Robin. However, when we look at the two super canines, as much as I did like Ace, I quite love Krypto. Not only does he look very realistic as a dog, but the paint application, though done more subtly than, say, Ace over here, has been done extremely well. I love the gold aspects of the collar. Again, you got the flowing super cape. I really do think the Krypto is the nicer of the two dogs. Whether you be looking to get Superboy and Krypto, or Robin and Ace the Bat Hound, both are available in comic book stores. I would probably make the suggestion to pick up both. Both are exquisite pieces, both with the Super Sons and the Super Canines that come included with them. I love the aspect that you can actually mix and match, or if you really want to, like I did in this review, you can really take both Super Sons and display them on the same display base with their corresponding canines on either side. So really a nice way to mix and match, which is one of the benefits of picking up the Kotobukiya pieces. A lot of their statues do have the magnets on the undersides of their feet, so you can accomplish exactly what I did over the course of this review. You can mix and match, you can move them around on a display base till you get the desired look that you want. Either way, both Super Sons are currently available in comic book stores should you wish to pick them up. A really nice piece. Both of them actually are exquisite pieces. Even though I favor a little bit more the Robin, I'm really impressed with what they did here with Superboy and Krypto. Today, we were having a look at the Kotobukiya ArtFX. This was DC Comics, Superboy, Jonathan Kent, and Krypto, the 1/10 scale pre-painted statue 2-pack. If you guys haven't had a chance to hit that little subscribe button down below, make sure you do so. Many more Kotobukiya reviews will be coming your way. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.